Secrets in video games are definitely nothing new. There are thousands of Easter eggs, cheats, and dick pics that developers put in their games as jokes, references, or a way to put their signature on their work in some fashion. But not all game secrets are pop culture references or jokes. Some of them aren't even intentional. Some of them are terrifying, like grandma smothered in mayonnaise, or stupid, like my son. He was only born with a single chromosome, so he's extra dumb. In this video, I want to talk about some dirty secrets that are so nasty and degenerate that everybody died. When Saints Row first became a thing, it was kind of regarded as GTA at home. But with the release of Saints Row 2, the series started to carve out its own identity through its story and humor. A lot of fans consider Saints Row 2 the best in the series, and it remained popular until the Saints Row reboot in 2023. Which did such a good job with its asinine millennial writing, it killed the series entirely.
I don't have to love it, I have to pay my student loans.
Amen.
I really just want to die.
Like with most open-world games, Saints Row 2 is filled with details, Easter eggs, and developer references, a lot of which fit in with the game's tone. If you sit idle on the main menu, the game plays some humorous TV spots, including a sleazy free money infomercial with a phone number on screen. If you dial that number on your in-game phone, you get $1,000.
Hello?
Are you stroking your cock?
There's also a giant pink bunny thing out at sea. But what I'm talking about isn't an intended thing. It's a malevolent spirit that hides within the game's code. And if you encounter this sensual, saucy spirit, throw your copy of Saints 2 in the microwave because that shit is destroyed. There's an entity of legend that roamed within Saints Row 2 called the Freezer, whose existence was prophesied in the Dead Sea Scrolls. During the Zombie Uprising minigame, through a series of hilarious mishaps, the player can glitch out of the map, fall through the ground, and get popped back out into the regular open world. From here you'll notice weird game logic like a really bright washed out image, stage elements move on their own, and random zombies will spawn and try to put their finger in your ass. It's only a matter of time before the Freezer reveals himself, massive horse cock swinging between his legs.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Just hanging around.
Your game will freeze, and you and your entire family will be cursed forever. This encounter destroys your copy of the game, hence the microwave. Once you restart, the game will no longer load past the title screen without crashing, and as far as I know, there's no way around this besides playing a different copy. YouTuber Mr. Saints Godzilla 21 got in touch with former developers of the game and discovered that the Freezer is most likely a glitched render of the player's shadow that went rogue and tries to escape the game. I think it's pretty cool that what sounds like a low-effort creepypasta about an evil being inside of a game turned out to be true, and the story continues to spread over a decade after the game's release. The 1990s were responsible for many atrocities. Boy bands exploded in popularity. Michael Jackson founded the Diddy Party Foundation, and edutainment games were on the rise. A lot of people from my generation remember teachers desperately trying to trick us into learning by packaging lessons in the form of video games. Math Circus was big in my grade 3 class for about 2 days. I had a copy of Zoombinis that came with a little software binder included with our PC.
No.
They even tried to induce state-mandated automatic learning with Sonic the Hedgehog, who had his own edutainment game that was absolute dog shit. The early 3D elements of these games are still very distinct to this day. They have this kind of uncanny emptiness that makes you feel like you're trapped in time with Grandma, who won't stop explaining her top 10 glory holes of the Louisiana Bayou.
Quite often I need 2 holes so that I can squirt.
The Museum of Anything Goes is one such game, kind of. It looks and sounds like any other edutainment game from this era, but the goal seems to be to make you slowly unlearn things. This game is more LSD than LSD Simulator. It's an explorable environment that is filled with random interactable stuff. That weird cold feeling of emptiness is present in full force here. The game is filled with hidden visual and audio gags. This game is actually where the Doot Doot skeleton comes from. But there's one thing in particular that makes this game infamous. There's a graveyard scene within the game where the tone goes from humorous and playful to a bit more macabre. There's a few gravestones you can click and read about the deceased, as well as a crane lowering a coffin into a grave. If you click this scene, you get a better look at the coffin as well as a message warning you not to clicketh upon it. But you ain't no bitch, so you click it. You are then treated to a scene of a large man loading what appears to be a carcass of some kind into a time machine, with the most unnerving sound recording of the entrance to hell. It turns out that this is most likely the carcass of a pig, but anyone playing this for the first time back in the day, especially a child, would be freaked out by this, especially with the audio that plays. This came out in 1995. long before every 10-year-old was going on Reddit to lie about being in the Navy SEALs and had access to HD footage of cartel beheadings. Knowing it's a pig softens the blow, and society is much more desensitized to hardcore snuff footage thanks to the internet, so this isn't very shocking today. But it is a major left turn away from how the game presents itself up to that point, and is still infamous on the internet for hiding such an unsettling image. Nintendo's original Game Boy was a massive success, and where there is a successful console, there is opportunity to sell junk accessories that nobody cares about. The Game Boy had a ridiculous amount of accessories by both Nintendo and third parties, including the stupid magnifying glass because the screen was nearly impossible to see, a rub light for the same reason, and this monstrosity. By far one of the dumbest was the Game Boy camera. Intended to work alongside the equally as dumb Game Boy printer, small children could take barely comprehensible pictures of their own deformed faces that are as scary as when your monitor goes dark and you can see your own reflection.
I'm a fucking bad bitch at this game, son. Oh god damn, the screen went black.
The accessory itself was a Game Boy cartridge with a camera duct taped on top, complete with its own software that included rudimentary image editing like doodles and putting stamps on things. By going into this little JRPG menu, you can select the option to run. Most of the time you'll get this weird crossing the equator image. However, if you continue to select the run option, you'll eventually be met with one of several fucked up faces. The images are uncanny enough on their own, but most are accompanied by phrases such as, "Who are you running from?" and "Give me some of that booty sweat." Just to make it extra fun for the small children, there's also some waking nightmare music so kids will be terrified to look at any screen for the rest of their lives. The kids that experience these horrors are the ones that grew up to be dentists or whatever other job that makes people hate their life. The Game Boy camera isn't the only Nintendo thing to feature out-of-place horrors. There's the infamous shadow people in Mario Galaxy 2, deadites watching you during gameplay. Rumor has it that if you discover them yourself in-game, they'll always be watching you while you poo. The last Nintendo game you'd expect to find anything creepy in is Animal Crossing, a game about various livestock trying to cross a busy highway and also crippling debt. It's a really innocent game series. Focus on day-to-day interactions with your neighbors and little goals that the player mostly sets for themselves. You can decorate your home with all sorts of furniture and appliances, including a television. The game doesn't tell you that a TV screen is a portal to another dimension like in The Ring and Poltergeist. In Animal Crossing New Horizons, if you are for some reason awake and playing the game at 3:33 a.m., your TV broadcast will be interrupted by an alien creature accompanied by eerie music. He'll also try to communicate in his far advanced, incomprehensible alien language.
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick right now. I'm just stroking.
I don't imagine a lot of children would be awake under normal circumstances to see this, but it is pretty unsettling given the game's usual lighthearted and friendly tone. Everybody knows who Rocky Balboa is at this point. The character is an all-time great of American film. Naturally, there is a video game adaptation of the film franchise in the form of a boxing game following the titular Peruvian stallion and his journey from club fighter to heavyweight champ. The game got pretty average reviews upon release, and is unremarkable apart from the one thing that everyone remembers it for.
But it ain't about how hard you it's about how hard you can get and keep moving forward.
The game was immortalized by AVGN when he highlighted the absolutely horrific graphical bugs. The game would often shit itself and render mongoloids that I see on the back of my eyelids when I try to sleep at night. Legend says that a rogue developer implemented these models on purpose because he caught his wife getting pissed and fucked in the back of a pickup truck, and he wanted to spread his pain to the rest of the world. I would say he succeeded. In the early to mid-2000s, back when I was a young and spry 67-year-old, you could turn the TV on at any time past 10 p.m. and be greeted with some of the highest quality infomercials known to man. If you watched Spike TV, chances are good you saw your fair share of Girls Gone Wild segments. Back when DVD producers could exploit college girls for profit on national television, many a censored yiddy flashed upon my screen. It was better than trying to decipher the scrambled HBO signal. This exact era is what brought about the Guy Game. Capitalizing on the growing normalization of adult content thanks to the internet, the Guy Game was a 4-player trivia game where each player chooses a female avatar before starting. Players must answer multiple choice questions and compete in dumb mini-games to earn points. If you perform well, your chosen girl PNG will remove clothing. The opposite occurs when you perform poorly. True gentlemen would throw games on purpose to protect the dignity of their queen. The game also featured a lot of full motion video where women are asked the same questions, and if they answer incorrectly, they flash the camera. The Guy game appears on its surface to be a pretty low quality party game, essentially shovelware that might appeal to someone. But if you had the capability to play this game, then you already had a device that could play DVDs, so you could just watch Eager for Beaver 6 instead. The filthy secret this game holds is pretty much the only reason anybody even remembers it, and why it was removed from sale after its discovery. One of the girls that was filmed exposing herself ended up suing the developer and publisher for breach of privacy and emotional distress, and also revealed that she was a minor at the time of filming. Publisher Gathering had inadvertently distributed illegal images of a child, and those that purchased the game were unknowingly in possession of some cheese pizza. It's a good thing then that the game was a commercial failure, selling around 60,000 copies between Xbox and PS2. The footage used in the game was repackaged in the form of a DVD in the Guy game Game Over, minus the illegal footage. And that was the one and only project by developer Top Heavy Studios, who shut down shortly after the Guy game controversy. That's my list of games that hide dirty, dirty secrets. I'm only 4 subscribers short of 1,000 at the time of writing, so if you enjoyed the video, I would greatly appreciate a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.